Welcome, everybody, to New Earth Rising. We are here far above the Earth tonight. Sharon and I are in our spaceships. We have been traveling interdimensionally for quite some time and wanted to get back into Earth's orbit to be able to transmit this show.
That's right.
So, Sharon, thanks for showing up in the same timeline.
You're
I
welcome.
know we were
You're
having
welcome.
some timeline shifts, some solar flares, some Schumann resonance, some interpolar, intergalactic, ultramagnetic forces that were working against
Yes,
us.
all of it. All of it all at once. So it Hello, Jillian. Yes, thank you for being here in your ship as well. So we're all meeting in our ships tonight.
Awesome. Yay, Jillian. Jillian is going to be on Friday Night Hangout, not this Friday, not tomorrow, but next week to talk about CE5. And Sharon,
Ooh,
have her on your show too.
I will.
Don't tell
Oh
her I
yes.
told you.
Okay, I won't. I w- Okay, I won't. Jillian, don't listen to that last couple seconds of the
La la
conversation.
la 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 la.
But I would love to have you on my show. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
totally.
Absolutely. So we're so excited. It is January 19th, you guys. January is almost over already.
Mm.
This year, once again, is going. I am Michelle Ambergy, the Awakener, one half of the partnership of the Shenanigators, who are here bringing you New Earth Rising. And I'm so happy to see you, Sharon. I just love doing our show together. It's so fun.
Oh, I know. Same here. We do have a lot of fun. And we were laughing as usual so hard before we came in about trying to get our ships in line, coming in so we can orbit around the planet in congruency with each other.
And it's kind of like, whoosh, whoo, whoosh, whoo. It just isn't the same anymore with all the new technology, flying these
Yeah.
things, catching the orbit,
You know
trying
what's
to.
happening? It is. Yes, it's like catching the wave. You got to catch the wave, the right wave. And now that everyone is finding their own ship and manning their own ship, and it's getting a little crowded up there.
There's some people that cannot drive their ships. Take a lesson, people. Take a lesson. Hi, Rosie. Welcome, honey.
Hi,
Yeah, and
Rosie.
some people got to get those great big giant ships. Some people are driving around the little ones, ships that are
Yes,
shaped like a
totally,
shoe,
totally. I know. Yeah, I know. It's like ship envy, you know?
all dodging solar flares. It's like the Wild West out here, man. Hi, Adele. Welcome,
Hi, Adele.
welcome. Got everybody getting on.
I'm glad we're
So,
talking about ships because I did have a dream recently where I was in a ship. So
yes,
I
yeah, I
wanted to
want
share
you to
that
share
when we
that
get a
too.
chance. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to hear the first part of it, and I apologize. We were trying to get our ships refueled at the docking station.
Hmm. Yeah.
And these little zippity dudes in those little zippity spaceships dodging in, getting all squirrely, causing mayhem. So
Hmm.
we were a little bit late. I
Yeah.
didn't get to hear the whole story.
But we're we're all fueled up. Yes. Hey, Shelly. Hey, Carissa.
Yay, Shelly and
Yeah.
Carissa are here. Ship envy. So cute. It's so funny. It's these backgrounds. I can see my
I know, right?
things bleeding through from the other dimensions. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, we are. I know Michelle has the flower of life going on behind her head, and yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's my aura. It's my
Her
Native
aura.
American princess is bleeding through. Oh my gosh. We're so happy you guys are here. We're so happy. This is fun. And we are talking about ETs today. We're talking about ETs and awakening. What else did we talk about? Also, we wanted to talk about how to tell if you are a star seed.
Mhm.
A lot of us kind of have an idea, but there are a few particular things that really help you be able to tell. And it's interesting because like star seeds and indigos and light workers and that it's very very similar. And honestly, we're all kind of the same thing, it's just different labeling, but
Right.
there are a few little differences too, so we're going to talk about that today. Sharon, are you a star seed?
I believe I am, as far as the starseed label goes. Yes.
Star
Mhm.
seed seeding goes.
Starseed
Will you
seeding,
fly your
starseed.
ship like a star seed, like you know what you're doing?
Yes. I've been doing it a while, apparently. So that's why I like muscle cars because of my ships, my starships. Yes. Yeah,
You want a
my
little
ships
that
that I fly.
hyper speed,
Mhm.
that supersonic get up and go stuff.
Yeah, that's why I drive a Challenger now, because and I've always had those types of cars all my life because
Me
of
too.
the ships. Mhm.
It is. I've got a BMW, but it's a sport wagon, right?
Nice, yeah.
And I always swore that I was never going to drive a station wagon. Well, it's a station wagon, but it is on freaking steroids. And I raced, don't tell the cops. I
Mhm.
raced two kids in Mustangs on the freeway here in Orange County in the middle of the night, and I blew their doors off. It was
Wow.
awesome.
Nice.
But I knew
Wow.
how to drive and they didn't. I'm old. They were very young in muscle cars. They didn't quite know what they were doing. They didn't have their shifting down. So every time they'd shift up, they'd slow down and I'd just blow them off.
The
But it
cops?
was fun.
You're talking about the
No.
cops? Oh, your
No, the
kids.
cops weren't there. The two kids I was
Oh,
racing.
I thought you said, okay, I misunderstood you.
Yeah, no, I
I
was
thought
gonna
you
say
were
don't
racing the
tell the
cops.
cops.
I'm like, wow, you are a rebel.
Ooh. No, I won't do that.
Okay.
Not here. In Orange County, a lot of the cops, they're the sheriffs,
Yeah.
and they're
Yeah.
scary.
Mhm.
They don't take no nonsense.
They're serious.
They are dressed for war. They are dressed for war. I had to call the police over to my house one day and not realizing it was the sheriffs, and they come in and they've got, I mean, they're packing so much artillery on them. It's like they're like a one-man war just walking around. It's like, holy
Wow.
but it's good. When you need them, they're ready.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
Sharon, tell us about your dream.
Yes.
I want to
Okay.
hear about that.
Yeah, it was more of an out of body experience, and I just end up in. I've shared stuff like this before, where I'm just there, and people have out of body experience. Then you know that sometimes you just leave your body and you're there. You just end up in some place. And so I was in a space, and I wake up there. So I'm obviously there, and I'm waking up as this part of me is what I figured out. And I look around because my awareness is now with that part of me. I'm looking around, and I know that I'm with someone who I like a mate, yeah. And I'm looking around, and I see from my Sharon's perspective that I'm on a ship, and I can look out the window and see that we're flying really fast, but we're over a planet. We're not out in space. We're over a planet because I could see the planet. I don't know what planet, but I see brown and greens, mostly browns, kind of brown landscape and some green. And I look around. It's about the room we're in. There isn't anyone there that I can see any people, and it's a light blue and white walls, and there's consoles, really clean and bright and beautiful, uh, and just light blue and kind of silvery white are the walls and everything. And I even ask who I'm with, who can recognizes that I'm there too, is this a ship? And he says yes. And and I've noticed that in my out of body experiences when I'm with someone I'm close to that I have this hard time seeing their face. So I use my hands to feel my way around them so I can bring my sight into into to my experience. And so I'm feeling his face, and I feel a bald head, and that's I'm not used to him having a bald head because I always see him with hair, right? And he has a bald head, and I'm like, why do you have a bald head? and it just feels really soft, not like ours, but, and then as soon as I ask that, he appears in front of me, and he's human, but he's not the human I'm used to. He's blue, dark
Ooh, yeah.
blue, beautiful blue, dark blue, and, has really bright, and I see him clearer than I see everything here. Really bright, eyes, and his eyes are smiling at me. They're smiling at me, and, and he has, like, I showed Michelle a picture, but it's kind of, I don't wanna share the screen
Yeah,
again.
it
It's
was messing up in the
Yeah,
thingamajiggy.
I kept
Hi,
getting kicked out
Mandy.
when I'd share the screen, but anyway, he had, almost like a, what do you call that kinda skin? Like, um, not I'm gonna say scaly, but it wasn't scaly, it was, beautiful.
It's like yeah, it's like textury, but it's very
Yeah.
it's almost like dolphin skin.
Yeah, yeah, but you could see the texture like that, just
Yeah.
bright or dark blue, very dark blue, and it startled me that I went, "Oh," like that, I went, "Oh," like that, and I lost it. I couldn't see him anymore. Yeah, but a little while later, I was still in the same place, and I saw the overlay of him being a human after that, and then then we were communicating about what we were doing there and everything like that. But he showed that part of him, and I'm thinking, okay, so if he's blue and I'm with him, and then I'm probably that blue being too. We were Because I could tell that we were mates, right?
Yeah.
And we're moving around the ship together. But then, because and I'm realizing, and I've even asked them to help me be able to see extraterrestrial beings in my real time awareness, right? And I think that's something we all need to be able to do, because we're coming into disclosure and we're realizing, that there's other beings out there that don't necessarily look like
Everywhere.
us. Yeah, and they're going to be here, and they're here already. Anyway, so that was my experience, day before yesterday.
That's so cool. I have the beings that I work with, if you will, they're blue, and I've understood them to be, like Arcturians tend to be
Mhm.
blue. That
Mhm.
movie, Avatar,
Mhm.
talks about
Yeah.
the blue beings. Many of the ancient beings in India, like Lakshmi
Mhm.
and a lot of their gods, right, are the blue skin gods. And I used to just think they were just like pretending like they were blue because they like the blue. And then now all of a sudden it's like, no, they must have been really blue aliens that
Yeah.
were coming in.
Yeah.
And so many people are having these experiences now. My understanding is the blue is coming down from some of the cedar races, or the cedar, Seeder, right? That you
Mhm.
were reading about, that book too,
The cedars.
Sharon. The
Mhm.
cedars, yeah, the ones that have seeded our DNA and our existence. And one of those races are blue.
Mhm.
They come down from the blue flame. I think they come down from like I want to say the 13th dimension,
Mhm.
and coming through, and they're a part of us. They're our family, they're our lineage. And that's where a lot of the indigos and the star seeds come down, from that 13th dimension too. So where it's like it's becoming more and more people are seeing them in their mind's eye, and having that experience, and having the experience of what we call channeling
Mhm.
and stuff like that. And my understanding through the Kalantic sciences is they call them the Azurites, the Melchizedekian, order of the Azurites, the
Oh,
blue ones.
azure is blue. Mhm.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. And so it's really exciting because we're connecting with all of that, right?
Yeah.
And they're coming to us.
Yeah, and, it was just this feeling of we are, taking on that form, um, and, I'm gonna look up that color azure, 'cause I don't if that's a dark blue, because he was dark blue. Because 'cause I've seen the blue beans, and drawings and pictures, and they're more. And I've actually seen blue beans in my photos, in my uh,
Right. Yeah, and your orbs and stuff.
yeah, that kind of thing. But in the plasma clouds, and they're blue, and they're more of a light blue. He was dark blue. Yeah, just the dark. It was a dark. So Azure is blue. Yeah, it's not showing different colors, but
Like a deep cobalt blue.
yes,
Yep, that's
yes.
what Ryobi is, who is
Okay,
an Arcturian guide. He's that deep,
okay.
kinda like Blue Man Group, only deeper blue.
Right. He was beautiful. He just startled me because I wasn't expecting to see a blue bean sitting there right there in front of me, in front of my face, like, less than a foot away from me. And, yeah, and so, it startled me. And there was another part of the, experience where we're moving around the ship, and I have the overlay of being human, and, and he's has this large glass pad, it's glass, and
I
he's
love
working. He's saying he's working on this glass pad. I asked him, "What are you doing?" He said, "Oh, saving the world."
Oh, how cute. Did you say,
Yeah.
"Thank God"?
No, thank you, thank you. And, and then I asked him, and I had the awareness to ask him, "Okay, so, I'm hearing all this information about these, secret space program, soldiers and the 20 and back thing. So, because I'm having all these memories come up, they're just like crazy, I don't understand them. Um, I don't know what category to put them in other than parallel lives, right?
Right, right.
So I asked him, am I a part of that program? He said, we can talk about that later.
Yep.
What?
I
Great.
recently found out I I had a really weird response to Corey Good's story when
Mm,
he came out and he started talking about the
mhm,
20 and back thing, and I was like,
mhm,
"Oh, man." And I recently had a conversation with someone, and she was like, "Oh my god, Michelle, yeah."
mhm. Yeah.
And I went in and was talking to Ryobi, and he said, "So many of you have been, but it's not the same exact thing, but it's
Right.
similar, and it's similar enough that we're having this visceral response to
Right.
this because we have gone and literally taken into other timelines and
Yes.
have done work with
Yes.
the other races." Yeah.
Yes, and she, good and bad, because we're a lot of them were
Yes.
good and bad. There's, Rebecca Rose is another one who's come out talking about it, and she remembers a lot, and it took her a while. But also, there was a gal on Michael Sala's channel, who is also part of that. She actually has memories from being in, this life, but and other timelines, the 20 and back and more. She says that
Yes.
everyone's does it, everyone. She said, we all well, she said everyone, and I don't know if that was a generalization or not, but I can imagine that it, would be a lot, like you said, a lot of people, everyone.
Yeah.
But, it it makes sense to me that this would be happening.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's interesting because even as we're sitting here talking, Sharon, it's almost like part of Corey's mission maybe was to open up that idea because
Mhm.
that's part of like this awakening thing is when we start talking about it, when we start sharing our experiences, when we start sharing what we got, like you bringing this up today, starts sparking off the memory and the parts of the brain
Mhm.
of many people who have had these experiences in different ways too.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering how many people in our chat right now, we've got 16 people here. Welcome, everybody. How many of you guys feel like you are a star seed? Now, not necessarily, you can be a star seed without having to have this multi-dimensional experience. But how many people, if you feel like you're a star seed, put a one in the chat or write the word star seed and just go ahead and stick that in there. I really want to see how many people are here
Or you could
because they
just say
really
yes.
feel like, yeah, or you can stay yes. I always like doing the one because they can do a one, they can do it, and it's really
Oh,
fun
it's
to watch.
quick.
One,
Oh,
one, one,
gotcha.
one, one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Sorry.
exciting. I'm learning how to play with the whole YouTube fun thing that people do. It's so fun. But yeah, oop, yep, there we
Yep.
are.
Mhm.
Bing, bing, bing. DM2. Yep.
Yeah.
Starseed, Starseed, Jillian Starseed.
Oh, Jillian, I like what you said, with that, you said, with the textured the facial
Yeah.
textures, like, she'd seen it during meditation. Awesome. Yeah, I love
Yeah,
that.
because it's not scaly,
No.
but it feels smooth, but it has texture, but it doesn't feel like scaly.
No, he felt really soft. I remember thinking that softness, and then seeing him was, yeah, was a shocker, but it was beautiful, beautiful. I'm
Yeah,
like,
and they are
wow.
beautiful.
Mhm.
Melanie is saying an Alcyon star seed. Very good. Some of you know
Nice.
even where you're from. And we've all been intermixing with each other too. I always have felt very connected to Arcturus, but I love the Pleiadians. But I also was always fascinated with the Lyrans. And
Mhm.
because the Lyrans, their planet and their whole thing was destroyed a long time ago, they went and connected up with the Sirius, the Sirians. And I always had this connection with oh my gosh, I'm getting chills with the Sirians, the Syrians.
Mhm.
I always feel weird saying Syrians because I think it's like the Syrians in the Middle East. Um, and so it's like I used to say, well, do I have to choose one? And I got the information where it's like, no, we're really all intermixed, but it's who you just feel close to in this life stream,
Mhm.
who we feel close to now. And, I'm one of these people. It's like, I don't want to make a choice. I want it all. And so I'm like, woohoo, I'll take it all. Yeah, Jillian is saying, I think it's so foreign to what we're used to seeing that scaly is just the closest word we can, yeah, describe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is. There's a light quality to it, not meaning light of lightness, but a light quality to it too.
Well, his eyes were very bright, and, they were light green, and, they weren't round, but they weren't almond, but they were he was kinda hooded because he was looking up, kinda up like that, and, and they were, across like this. They weren't round, they were more, like that, went
Yeah.
along his face, or not. They were still there, he was still human-ish, but, really pretty. And I've seen myself as another being in lots of out-of-body experiences, but I didn't see myself as that being or seen other types of being. I've seen purple beings before
Mm.
in a group, a light purple, and this female is telling me, "We are the League of Narn," or something like that, or Mar, and I kept saying, "Oh, the League of Mars." No, the League of Marm, or Marn, or Mon, and, and I kept saying, "Mars?" And she says, "No, not Mars, Mon." Maybe saying Mon because of the, learning from Elena Denon that there is, that we come from humanity,
Yeah,
human, right? And we were there they were there to a rescue. I
yeah.
said, and I said to her, "You're purple. Why are you purple?" She goes, "Well, look at you." And I look down and I'm exactly like them.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're so connected with that. I know when I go on the ship with, Ryobi, which that is an Arcturian ship.
Mhm.
And he's so blue. He's like this beautiful blue, and he's got that speckly thing on his head too. But
Mhm.
he wears a hood
Mhm.
that's around it a lot of times with like a big collar. And I can feel as I'm walking that I'm in a different body. And there was one time when I reached my hand out for something, and it was this long fingered blue hand. And I was
Ooh.
like, ah, it totally
Ooh.
freaked me out. And so I've not really ever explored it again.
Yeah.
Right, because it
Yeah.
was like, "Ooh," and I already have a weird hand thing. Like, I'll be writing something, and all of a sudden, I'm like, "The heck is this? This is so weird." It's like my brain does this weird, like, thing. Who designed this thing?
Yeah, the big guy, we can thank him for it, or her,
And
them.
her, we're gonna say her.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
it's interesting. There's so many different races. There's so many different beings. Much of it intermixed, and a lot of it not. I know Rosie is saying, "I want to know what kind I am," with the little ET. And
Come to my
you know,
class. Come to our classes.
mhm. Yep, we're talking about it. Tomorrow, I'm actually doing the Secrets of Ascension, where I'm beginning to teach the beginnings of the Kalantic teachings, which is the 900,000 year history of humanity. And we
Mm.
start talking about the 15 dimensions of our time matrix and what all is in there. And it encompasses a lot of these beings that we're talking about and where they come from and the different dimensions and how the stargates and all that stuff match up in
Nice.
there. It's fascinating. It's absolutely
Wow.
fascinating because we're so much more and connected to so much more than we've ever been told, right?
Mhm.
But we've been getting drip, 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 drip of information, and like your experience, Sharon, and getting that in, and we get to talk about it. And we're
Yeah.
just opening, and it's so exciting. It makes me so happy because a
Yeah.
lot of people have experiences that they kind of put away, right? That it's like it's too much for the mind to really understand. And a lot of it happens in childhood. And we put it away. Oh, Rosie, when it is tomorrow, honey, or not tomorrow, Saturday. My class is on Saturday. And if you go to my website, michelleambergy.com, and look on the calendar, you can find it there.
Yeah. And then
Um,
my class is February 5th, connecting to your star family.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so we have so much stuff, and that is matter of fact, hang on. I'm gonna put our run our websites up there.
Okay. Yeah. Good
Yeah.
idea.
Let's do that. You got Sharon's website right there, and then I'll throw my website
Look
up
how
there.
professional looking we are now.
It's because we're
Gosh.
on spaceships.
That's right. Yes, we have all the tricks of the trade up here. Mhm.
We got all the tools and thingamabobs to make it all fancy.
Yeah.
But yeah, and
And then
it
put
is
yours up there.
and you know what you guys can do, because I know you were asking about what kind of starseed I am. One of the best ways, one of the things that you can do is what are you attracted to? Like what when you hear like Arcturian, Pleiadian, Alcyon, Lyran, Andromeda, Syrian, Sirian, what do you feel drawn to? Also, it's like, do you feel really connected to the pyramids, to ancient Egypt? Most likely, it's a Sirian connection, which all goes up and connects with the Lyrans and the Andromedans and the Alcyons. And so it's interesting. It's kind of like your soul knows,
Mhm.
right? And it's expressed through what you're attracted to, what you feel is what feels comfortable, right? What feels right, what feels
Yeah,
good
what
to you.
feels yeah, what you're really trying because like you were saying before, Michelle, I believe that we hold a what is it, like 22 star races in our DNA?
Mhm.
So,
At least.
yeah, I believe that, there's 22 or 24 is what cedars, the number of cedars,
Yeah.
yeah. And so, oops, there's an echo.
That's because I'm on there to binga.
To be Are you, can did you turn your computer up at all?
Mm-mm, I didn't do anything.
Weird. I didn't hear that before. Let me see
Yep.
if it's,
I'm just
okay,
messing. I just turned
I don't
my thing down here.
okay, I don't hear you
Get
echoing,
back
but I
to the
hear me.
chat.
Okay.
Do 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 do
Alright. Hey,
do
Debbie,
do
good to see you.
do.
Good to see you. Haven't
Debbie
seen you in
is
a while.
here. Oh yeah, Rosie Egyptian. So Rosie, you might want to look a little bit into the Sirian, Sirian, the Lyrans, Andromeda. Like what are you pulled to? Part of the thing that that happened to me years and years ago, like 15 years ago. I found a website when I was first learning how to use all the computer stuff, and it was from Sirius, however we're going to say that. And it was this pulse, like it was this circle that came out and went, poof, 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 and then it had ding, ding, ding. If you found this site, the Syrians have found you.
Mm. Wow.
And I was just like transfixed, and I kept going back and back and back and back to see this and to experience this. And I feel like it really was connecting me into something that, so there'll be things that will pull you. There'll be things that you're attracted to. There's things that's like you can't let go of. Are you into Atlantis? Are you into Lemuria? Are there certain cultures that you're attracted to? All of that will give you cues.
So who
Hello,
is it?
G Atuli. Ooh. Hello,
Jill.
star people.
Yes. Hello. Hello. So I wanted to address Jill uh, comment about Venus.
Mhm.
I remember a home on Venus, an existence on
Yes,
Venus, and I want to share an experience if I can, or one of many on Venus.
absolutely.
I was visiting Venus quite a bit when I started waking up and with Yeshua, and he would take me to Venus. We'd and help me remember a home on Venus, and this was the first time during my meditations and during my dreams that I realized that our house has a spirit, because when we would go into our, I was just moving through our life there, when we went enter into our home, the spirit of the house or the home would greet us. We
That's
whew, I get
cool.
emotional talking about it, yeah. And so as we moved through the home, we could feel the spirit of the home welcoming us and having that conversation with the spirit of our home. And one morning I woke up in this reality after spending a lot of time on Venus, and uh, I was in my home on Venus. I woke up here and I could see my whole room was different. This lasted maybe, I'm going to say 5, 10 seconds, if not more. I could see the atmosphere was different. It was sparkly. The curtains were lacy and they had a breeze
Yes.
coming through. And had a breeze through and coming through the window, and they were lacy, and it was just felt light, the fifth dimension, I guess you could say. Yeah, and I knew that that was my I was in my Venus home. I woke up there in my Venus home. Yeah, that was really cool.
That was my experience with the Venus thing too. The sparkly, the effervescent
Mhm,
of it. I haven't had a lot of connection with it, but the couple of times that I did, it I'm glad you said that.
mhm.
It
Yeah,
was like,
and, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I would say it was kind of like the bubbles in 7 Up,
Yes, yes,
very
yeah,
light and
very effervescent.
effervescent.
Yeah,
Yes.
and then when my mother passed, I had another out of body experience where I projected to a place, and I could see the planet Venus out the window, or just not out the window, but there, the planet Venus. But I was in this like a temple, and I was thinking it was a feeling it was a temple of Isis, and and my mother met me there, and she looked beautiful. She looked young, and she died in her 70s, and she was ill, and she had pigtails and she was happy and everything like that. She looked really awesome. And I asked her if she liked being on Venus more than she liked being on Earth.
Mm,
And she said yes, that being on Earth was like being stuck in the mud.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense because we're in this third dimensional frequency where all the other dimensions, all the other beings, they're from fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th dimensions. These beings all come down from these places, and some not even having the physical bodies anymore. They're crystalline liquid or plasma bodies, right? But we choose to come down into these dimensions, and it's like, oh,
Mhm.
so heavy
It's
here,
heavy. Yeah.
but it's also has its perks. It has its sensuality and its feeling, its emotion, the experience of touch that a
Mhm.
lot of the others don't have like we have here too.
Yeah, the density of it that we're not used to, so it's an experience, right? We're infinite, so why not experience all of it?
Yep,
And then we're down here, and we're like, "What was I thinking?"
exactly. It's like, I'm pretty sure I did
Like,
not sign that contract.
I was
I think
duped.
I was duped. Somebody rolled me out of bed and sent me down the chute, and I was like, "Wait,
Wait a minute, or got me drunk or something.
can't stop, won't stop is here. Good evening, sir.
Awesome. Yes. Hey,
Welcome,
B.
welcome.
Yeah.
Very good. Also,
Mhm.
just real quick, I want to to acknowledge your beautiful channeling from Jesus that you put out on YouTube, Sharon.
Oh,
That was
thank you.
really nice. That was really well done. That was so beautiful.
Thank you. I worked on that for a little while, and it's my first one of putting something like that together. It was fun.
It's kind of cool, huh?
I have a lot of respect for people that do that and for what you do with this, Michelle. Yeah, I have a lot of respect for for people that do
It's
that kind of work. It's time consuming. It's fun, but it's also time consuming. Yeah,
yeah,
but it's I'm sure the more you do it, the easier it gets, of course, like everything. But it was cool. Yeah.
it's still
And
time consuming.
I thought the gentleman that did the voiceover did a really good job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Debbie, the channeling is on Sharon's YouTube. So if you go to YouTube and just put in Sharon Kamara,
Mhm. Or Ascension
right?
with Sharon Kamara. Mhm.
Yep, Ascension with
Yes.
Sharon Kamara on there, it'll pop up and you can and subscribe to her YouTube channel and mine and New Earth. We're running
Yes,
3 YouTubes here, people.
we are.
Get your subscribing in there. It's free and we're not going to send you stuff. It just helps us to be able to get our message and our fun and our laughter and our joy out there a little bit more.
Well, we will send you good vibes. How's that?
We'll love you.
Yeah.
We'll love
We'll love you as
you.
much as you can stand. Is
We
someone,
I'm
is
talking to
someone
my
bothering
crew.
you in your
Thank
control?
you.
Yeah, you're tell me
Yep,
you're at the
my crew,
helm.
I got
Mhm.
him working here.
Yeah. You're welcome, Debbie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's so much, Sharon and I both have websites have all kinds of stuff on there. So wherever you're coming in, because we're streaming out to them all, make sure you
Mhm.
check them all out because there's a lot of good stuff. There's a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
We're,
Yeah, I
we're
also
getting on
have,
the YouTube bandwagon.
yeah, I know, right? We're finally getting a little bit of the hang of it, getting a better hang of it, but it's fun. It started out as being fun, and it still is fun, of course. Um, but you learn as you grow, right? Of course, it's
Yeah,
fun. Wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't fun.
so
Mhm.
fun. And
Yeah,
I'm
totally.
finding that I am loving doing all the videos and all that kind of stuff. I'm like a little I'm like a mini movie director person. It's like you gotta find the right music and I get lost for hours. Thank God I don't have a JOB job. I'd have to quit it.
Yeah, yeah, same here. That's what allows us to do it. Sharon, are you an adopted daughter of Sanat Kumara?
Ooh.
um, the way I see it is, and what I've learned is that I am of the stream of this Kumara stream. But and yes, I am part of that lineage, the Kumara stream. I am intimately related to Sananda Kumara, yeah,
And that is the
the
Christ
brother of
Avatar
Sanat.
stream. Yeah.
Yes, Christ Avatar stream. Yeah, with
Yeah.
Sanat
Yeah.
is also yeah.
Yeah. And that's that 12th dimensional. And
Hmm.
it's something too to keep in mind. We're all like aiming for the fifth dimension, but there's a lot of us that are here. A lot of us that are here.
Hmm.
Let me say that again. A lot of us that are here are coming down from the Christ avatar. We're coming down into
Exactly.
this dimension, into form from that 12th dimensional Christ stream. And so you'll see it's the Kumara, it's the Sananda, it's the Christ, it's the Kara Yasata. It's like we're all coming in, those of us that love Jesus, but maybe don't fit into the Christian parameters of it. A
Yeah.
lot of us are that Christ avatar that's
Yeah.
coming in. We're coming from a really high frequency. And that's why a lot of times this place makes no sense. Like, what is going on and what are these people doing?
Right.
Because it
Yeah, and
doesn't
I
make
have
sense.
go ahead. It doesn't. It's totally against the grain here than what our soul is used to. And a
Yeah.
lot of us have been here for quite a while, in terms of experiences. So
Yeah.
so yeah, it takes some of us a little bit longer to get the hang of it than others to
Well,
move up
and
in
you know what the
frequency.
thing is too? Is like we only get like 70, 80 years,
Right.
to get our
To
act
learn.
together, and then we're out and we got to start over again with that veil of forgetfulness. This whole wheel of karma thing is and reincarnation thing is we
Yes.
got to get rid of that thing. We got to get back to the living for 5, 600 years so we can get our act together, right?
Yes, totally. And that's what we're doing, isn't it? That's what we're doing. That's why this time is
Yes,
so
ma'am.
imperative. We are doing that now
Yeah.
as we speak and helping to wake each other up. And as everyone here is totally awake. And so we're spreading that around. And by waking up, I mean learning, remembering our true nature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being aware that there's a lot more than what we've been told. And it's kind of interesting. I had this sensation a couple of nights ago of being very, very expanded. I was working on my class and working in those 15 dimensions. And it's like my brain just feels like popcorn. It's like pop, 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 like all this stuff is getting activated. And being in that expanded state and then being aware still of physical body and physical form here. And it felt like this tight little box, right? And it was really interesting. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, but we can push that box out. We can expand that box out. We're not stuck in this. We're only stuck in it because we think we are, right? And it's
So
moving and
true.
shifting. And that's part of that changing all that matrix too.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
star seeds,
Yeah, the starseed thing, I believe is, I'm sorry, did I interrupt you, Michelle? Did you
nope.
not finish that
No,
thought? Okay.
you and I just flow so much together. It's like we're talking from one brain. It's
I know,
weird.
right? Right? Except when we disagree with ourselves. But, yes.
And then it's hell to bay.
Yeah, right. Uh, so this yeah, the starseed thing I think is, uh did I lose that thought already? That it has a lot to do with these choices that we made, right?
Mhm.
To come down here, come into this realm, to this lower frequency, because we all have that lineage within us. Probably everyone on the planet. Now, I do understand there were um, indigenous people on the planet when the Anunnaki came, and changed our DNA, but still the indigenous people have the cedar races within them too. Now that I think about
Absolutely.
it,
Yeah, we
yes.
all come from the
So we
stars
all
ultimately.
we all come from the stars, right? Um, I lost that train of thought. So I guess my point is that it's not that we're different
We're
from
special.
we're yeah, right. It's a matter of integrating what the way I see it, integrating and remembering our lineage. It's like our ancestry. A lot of people are really, like my brother is really interested in the ancestry of, he's at my half brother, his ancestry. So he does a lot of, and there's a lot of people that do that. And to me, I'm more interested in my star lineage ancestry.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of remembering who we are and integrating that. And and connecting to that part of ourselves,
Yeah.
because we can connect to that part of ourselves, right? And Barbara Marciniak wrote the book about the Pleiadian. What was the name of that book? I forget. In the
Bringers of
80s.
the dawn.
Thank you. And they
Yeah.
talk about this very thing that we're coming into now,
Uh,
integrating our parallel existences.
and it helps to activate our DNA because it's all recorded in the DNA, and that's something that's really fascinating. Is
Yes,
all
it
of this
is.
information. We think our memory comes from our brain. It doesn't, it comes from our DNA. And
Mhm.
so when we talk about this, when we connect into it, when we meditate on it, when we pray about it, whatever we're doing to touch back into that, we're activating our DNA and we're opening up the brain to remember and reconnect.
Yeah.
And it's so cool because we will naturally reconnect just like our physical, ancestry to, I'm Scottish and Native American and English. But as we keep going back and back and back, all the lines start converging into one
Yes.
greatness. And that is the oneness, right? So
Mhm.
it's so important to understand the lineages and like where you're from, and because it's part of the integration. But it's also leading us into this oneness and this understanding that we're all important and we're all equal and we're all powerful and we're all beautiful and we're all wonderful. And to begin to, the words, conduct ourselves as a true family,
Mhm.
as in the remembering of this whole starseed thing, as a true family where we take care of each other, where we stop all the nonsense that's going here. It was so funny. I had, oh, cool. Hi from Ollie,
Melbourne,
Canada. I don't know what MBCN
NBCBN.
is.
But
Sounds
hi
cool.
anyway. Okay. Is it Allie? Allie?
Yeah, it's Ali. Cool. Welcome,
Yeah.
guys.
Yes.
But yeah, it's really, really neat because I remember seeing a meme a while ago, about some aliens, flying in a ship, looking down at Earth, and they're like, should we stop in? Like, oh no, they're still
Yeah.
fighting each other over 7-Eleven. We're not going there. They're
I
still
know.
beating each other up for cigarettes. No, not yet.
I saw one where a family is flying ETs, the typical grays, and they're flying by the Earth, and the parents tell the kids to roll up their windows
Yeah,
or lock their doors. I'm
exactly.
sorry, lock their doors. Lock your
It's
doors.
so
We're
true.
flying by
It's
Earth.
Ali's from Manitoba, Canada. Yay! We love our Canadians. Oh, Canada. I love it.
Nice.
Yep. And it's so true. Like we need to get ourselves together here on this planet with
Yeah.
so much nonsense that's going on. But we also have to understand, I hate to say it, but a lot of it's by design to keep it separated so we don't remember who we are
Mhm.
together as one family. It's like, oh, you got this skin color and you got this and you're a girl and not a girl and are a girl and aren't a girl, whatever. And it's just division, 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 division. We don't have to do that. You know, I love the people from Alcyon, just like I love the people from the Pleiades, right? The blue skin, the purple skin, the white
Mhm.
skin, they're all good. The
Yeah.
feathered, the furred. And it's really neat. It's really neat when we kind of move beyond that. And that's one of the things that I love about the whole starseed thing is it kind of lifts us out of this human dilemma, right?
Mhm.
It's like we can kind of move beyond that, begin to integrate the vastness of who we are.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I mean, these are really pivotal times right now. And I heard uh, if anyone follows Elena Denon, she put out a short video recently where her contact in the Federation let her know that they were on the planet. He was on the planet to for a meeting um, in a secret base in the Blue Ridge Mountains.
Mhm.
And she lives in Ireland, so she doesn't know what the Blue Ridge mountains are. So she could see through his eyes where he
Wow.
was, and she drew where he was, and she also drew the general. And her contact gave the general. He was a four. She said 5 star, but he had 4 stars. She said it could have been four, it could have been five. 5 star general, and she described him, what he looked like. And Michael Sala did research on what she was seeing and found the general that Thorhan gave the information to, and it was for disclosure. Yeah, so like soon kind of thing, a disclosure plan. And I
Yeah.
feel what I got from that was I meditated on it. What I felt from that was that I believe that the baddies are trying to ramp up this false narrative
Yeah.
of extraterrestrials being invading our planet, and so
Yeah.
putting that blue beam stuff out there that's the holographic type of a movie in the sky to make
Yeah.
us think that we're being invaded. Um, and so I believe that they're ramping up um, because
Yeah.
they released some more evidence. They say of and admitted the certain part of the government, the Pentagon, I guess it was, saying that yeah, we now know that there are UFOs that are real. But we've been knowing that for years. We're like, duh. People in the community are like, and that
Yeah.
know
Us
this.
conspiracy theories.
Yes, exactly.
You
Hmm.
UFO wackadoodles. It's like, yeah,
Right.
thanks for catching up, right?
Well, yeah, totally. So they're saying, and it's driving, and people that I trust in the UFO community are putting that out there too. That it's some
Yeah.
way to try to get us the public afraid. Another fear mongering tactic.
Yeah.
Right? Because
Yeah.
that's their goal, is to always keep us in fear.
Yeah.
If we're in fear, we can't think. We can't
Yeah.
act, according to our intuition. We
Yeah.
can't think straight. We're not critically thinking. So if we're in fear, then they got us, right?
Yeah.
Uh, so it's another fear tactic. So I'm just saying, watch out for that.
And that's why we want to be having daily practice of
Hmm.
prayer and meditation and turning within and learning to listen to the inner voice that will tell us yes or no, right? And also disclosure, we're not waiting for it. It's happening. It's not going to happen in a big and we've got Ollie is asking first time
We.
meeting you both. Welcome. And
Hmm.
is the flash truly coming soon? It's already happening too. We're having
Yeah.
solar flares and solar codes. And are we going to get a big? Well, maybe, but don't wait for that because it's
Yeah.
already happening now. That's what is happening with the Schumann resonance. That is what is happening with the solar flares and these M and X class stuff that are happening. It's already happening. It's
Yeah, I
already.
totally believe that the flash is what was been prophesized for a long time. From in many writings, the solar flash was actually supposed to happen, but I believe that that timeline has been changed, and I believe it happened because it was supposed to happen apparently December 2012, I guess 21st, 2012, but it happened
Oh,
in
yeah.
Alpha Centauri. So I believe the extraterrestrials are actually uh, diverted that somehow from our planet, and they're diverting it now because if you pay attention to NASA photographs, I guess it is, or videos, there are there are ships around the sun that
Yeah,
are diverting the the
big
big
time.
the big flares. And there was a big one, what, a couple months ago, I guess it was, that
Yeah,
did a huge, some kind of huge shield was in front of it, ship or whatever, from from being emitted on our
yeah.
planet, because it could have done some really big damage.
But we're
So
also
yeah.
getting the benefits of it, which is awakening, which is waking up
Mhm.
our DNA. It is waking up our brains, our pineal gland, everything within us. We're getting the good parts of it, but
Mhm.
we're not getting the big roast, right? So,
Right.
and it's happening. It's happening
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
Um,
so going back to the Flash, I believe that it is like you say, Michelle, it is happening, but it's happening slowly, that the timeline has been shifted, and, the reason it's been shifted is because we are here, all of us starseeds are people that beings that came here from, from a long time ago to now, and, are here on this mission to help, shift these timelines to where it's not catastrophic.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's definitely changed
Hmm.
because there's so many prophecies from the past, in the Bible, Nostradamus, down through the ages of this apocalyptic era.
Yeah.
And we're in this era, but we also are beginning to understand that, apocalypse actually means revealing.
Hmm.
Revelations revealing. It's not this end of the world thing. Although at one time that was part of the timeline that we were all headed on. And that has changed. And part of it is because people like all of you are here and
Yeah.
the star seeds are here. And us guys chose to come here to change that timeline, to change that matrix, to help this matrix that is so dark and heavy to shift and change and to be conscious of creating something better,
Hmm.
right? We don't
Hmm.
want to recreate the same thing. I have so many people who are like, gosh, I wish the world was like it used to be. No, we want to create the better, the new earth, the one of the equality and love and peace and harmony, abundance and meaningfulness and spirituality and all that stuff, and let this old matrix fall away. And the star seeds are a big part of it, no matter where you're from, because we come in with that memory of the unity, of family, of that consciousness that we all matter. And what I do to you, we do to everyone and to ourselves.
Right.
And that's part of the magic of the star seeds and the star seed family. And that's what everybody here, Ali is saying, are we entering the golden age for the next 1,000 years? We are entering it. We are stepping over the threshold. It might take a little while for us to actually be in the golden age. But yeah, absolutely. It's happening now, people. People,
Hmm.
hear my voice.
That's why we're
It's
here.
happening.
That's
And
why
it's
we're
why
here.
we came here.
Yeah.
It's why we're here. It's why Sharon and I are sitting in our spaceships high above the earth right
That's
now.
right. Yeah.
Because we don't want to be down there because we're not sure what's going to happen down there. No.
Speaking of which, I probably shared this before, but I'm gonna share it again because we have new people here. When I was in a psilocybin ceremony, a couple of them, two of them, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and it was a small group of us, friends, and then a shaman that she's a medicine woman, and I could see. I mean, it's wow. I could see the walls disappearing and see silver walls. I knew that we were in a freaking ship. We were
Yep.
in a ship.
Yep.
So this matrix was disappearing, and we were in a ship. So what do you think about that? Maybe we are in a real ship.
We could be.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
We could be. The psilocybin, not to be taken lightly, and we don't
Mhm.
recommend it because we're not doctors. We only play one on YouTube. But
I don't even do that.
hopefully that won't get us because we're kidding, YouTube. We're kidding. Um, but in my ceremony that I did a couple years ago, I was
Mhm.
shown just being one with all of space, and this beautiful voice came in and said, "You are creator, and you are the creation." And so it's whatever you're creating is what your reality is.
Mhm.
And it was just like, wow. So are we on a ship? Yeah. Are we floating around in space in our own individual spaces connected by the oneness of all that is? Yeah. We're creating it. We're experiencing it. It's not any one thing, it's everything. And it's so awesome because we lose that linear, finite thinking when we
Mhm.
realize, yes, are we in a ship? Yes. Are we in space? Yes. Are we on some magical place out there? Yes. It's all yes. And we allow our mind to just go, okay.
Yeah.
So what does that mean?
Yeah, I'm getting a lot, hearing people more and more who have had, profound, like near-death experiences. And I interviewed someone recently on my channel, and he ends up going on a ship. He doesn't go into the heavens or anything like that, but he's on a ship with extraterrestrials, and
Yeah.
yeah, and it's so I believe that we're waking up to that part of ourselves too. And I have memories, out of body experiences, dreams, whatever, of waking up in a pod on a ship,
Cozy.
right?
Yeah.
Waking up in a pod on a ship, and I'm sitting up, and what Andy, and he might be here, um, was saying that and I've heard this from other uh, interviews, that they have different avatars in pods, and I think we've talked about this before,
Yeah.
but in pods, right? And so one avatar is finished, then we insert our consciousness into another avatar and go on that timeline, get inserted into that timeline type of thing.
Yeah.
So it's it's like, whoa. Um,
It is, and it's so beyond what we've been told and what we're programmed with. But, it's
yeah,
almost like we need to just open up and just say, what if? What if that is right, and that is right, and that is right, and that is right? What does that mean?
hmm
Like Ali is saying, what is the star seed supposed to do when we've not had our awakening yet? For me, I am awake to this ascension.
question
What are you
mark.
supposed to do? Just be you. Just do you. Because there's nothing to do. It's not about doing anymore. It's about being. And when you be who you are, you'll naturally be guided to do what flows from that understanding of your own knowing.
And take our
Flow.
classes.
And take our classes. That's the only thing you do have to do. It's the
Yes,
only law in
that's your
this
homework.
spaceship.
Right in this spaceship right here. If you're on this spaceship, you gotta take our class.
You have to take our classes. That was good. Good marketing there. Michelle is saying that's the message I receive. For me, the ship, etc., is a way for our human self to understand and place information. Yes. It doesn't feel literal to me, but this is my experience of perception of reality. Perfect.
Mhm,
And it is, because we're like deprogramming, reprogramming this mechanism that we use to understand our reality.
mhm.
And some people are really good at like really allowing the barriers and the limitations to fall away. And for some of us, it takes a little bit longer. I've been grappling with all this stuff since I was like 8 years old. And I wrote a poem said, I am that I am. And stuck it on the bathroom wall, and my whole family is like, this is the weirdest
What is
kid.
what is she talking about?
You are
Right,
so weird.
right. Well, I remember when I was communicating with the Ashtar Command or Ashtar Center Command many, 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 many years ago, and they called me their ship. That's what they call me, their ship. I am their ship here on this planet. I'm a ship,
Yeah, it
and we
makes
are a ship.
sense.
Well, look at what we're carrying around in our ship. Trillions of cells, right? This planet, we're a biological ship. Our planet is
Yeah.
a biological ship hurtling through
Yep.
space, spinning through space. And a lot of ships are biological ships, right? They have a
Yep.
consciousness, just like the house on Venus had a consciousness. So our ships have a
Yes.
consciousness, and
Yes.
there's plenty of biological ships out there, in there, out there, wherever. And
In
so
here, out there.
I know, right? So
That's
yeah,
that's another dimension. Well, yeah,
right.
and it's interesting because you know how we see those spinning balls that are spaceships, and people see these things all the time. There was, I don't know if you guys have heard about, and I've shared this before, Sharon. You probably heard this before. There's a place in Utah called Skinwalker Ranch
Oh
that
yes.
has
Hmm.
all kinds of weird stuff going on,
Yeah.
right? Well, they got some like really high tech. They've got like NASA equipment over there, and they were taking pictures of these spinning balls, and they closed in and closed in, and they got a really close thing, and you can see it's a Merkaba, a spinning Merkaba with a being in it. Ooh, I got chills when I say that.
Oh, my sister has a photo of one at
Ooh,
Isetti Ranch.
they're
Mhm.
Merkabas. Well,
They are.
how many of us have been working on developing our Merkabas,
Mhm.
understanding that there are light bodies, right? We
Yeah.
we we talk about that all the time. Maybe that's they've developed that Merkaba to the point to where they can travel all over the place. Our own little personal ship is our Merkabahs. I do meditations with my students all the time where we get in our Merkaba, we build our Merkaba around it, we take our Merkaba and we go on
Mhm.
journeys.
Yeah.
Start working with
Yeah.
your Merkabas.
Yeah, my sister has a photo at Isetti Ranch in, the Gilliland Ranch at Isetti in,
Is that in Washington?
Trout Lake, Washington. Yeah,
Trout
at the
Lake.
base of Mount Adams, and we were out there taking our photos, doing our thing, and she has a photo of a Merkabah with a bean inside it, and it's not a ball. It's the
Mm-mm.
yeah, it's a wide, triangle like that, but you can see it's gorgeous. It's a light ship,
Spinning.
and it's a
Yeah.
Merkabah. Yeah, it's a
It's
light
so
ship.
cool.
Uh-huh.
And so that's what's so important about everybody being aware of your Merkaba body, and doing I'm trying to think. On my YouTube, and if I don't have it on there, I have a Merkaba meditation that helps to develop the Merkaba. If I don't have it on there, I'm gonna record one and get that up there for you guys,
Mhm.
because that is really important to develop that. Michelle
Yeah.
saying wrote a poem. Of course, you're a Michelle. She wrote a poem similar to one. Us
Of course.
Michelles. We're
Yeah.
weird little creatures and we're awesome.
She says she's had many extraterrestrial dreams that really felt like astral travel. Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah,
I believe we have them all the time.
yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I
And
have
even
so many experiences out there where I'm flying a ship, flying a ship on my own. I have one where I'm being taught how to fly a ship by touch, that kind of thing, and through my eye, turning it,
yep.
and with my eye, um, yeah, because it's hooked up to my eye. Something is hooked up to just one eye, and then I where I look is where it goes, and it was a round ship, and where I look, and if I look up, and then I go back, and I remember doing that, and I went whoa, and yeah, and I'm in this. It's a one seater. It's just a one seater ship. Yeah.
It is, it's so cool.
Oh, hey, Herschel, good to see you.
Hey,
You're
Herschel, thank
welcome.
you for stopping by.
Yes, yes.
So cool. We're so
Mhm,
grateful for all you guys. It makes it so fun.
mhm.
So fun that we can be here with you guys making your comments and asking your questions. This is the fun of YouTube. This is why I love it and I love doing the show live too. Super
I
fun.
know. It is fun. Yeah.
Yeah. And we learn from each other, right? We learn from each other as we talk about it. That's one of the things that we have all this technology, and some of it is so freaking frustrating. It's like, but we have it to connect. Star seeds, we're all connecting. We're finding each other all over the world. We got Canada. Oh, Canada. And all over the country, all over the world, that we can all talk and connect up with each other, remember who we are and how we're connected, and not feel so alone, because that's one of the things of kind of finding out about that star seed. One of the symptoms, if you will, is feeling alone, feeling separate, feeling weird in this world, like I don't fit in. And when you don't fit in, and that feeling alone, it can be depressing. It can be scary. You feel, like you're not understood. And it's so exciting because now we have the technology. We're all finding each other, recreating our communities here on planet Earth.
Yeah, that's why it's so important to find a community that you resonate with, because you're not alone. Uh, you are definitely not alone, and I
You were
guarantee you.
welcome on our starship at any time,
That's right, that's right.
every
We'll hang out
Thursday
in the cafeteria or commissary, whatever you wanna call it, and we will
in the
share
bar.
stories in the bar.
In like
in
was
the
it
for
Star
what was it?
Wars?
In Star Trek, it was what, forward
Star
10 or forward something? They called this the bar forward 10. Oh, and I have another memory of, experience, out of body experience, astral travel, whatever, where I'm in a ship, another ship, and there's all kinds of different beings, and I shared this not too long ago when I had it, all kinds of different beings around, and we're drinking, and I'm being, asked if I want a drink, and it's a blue fizzy drink,
Ooh,
blue and fizzy, and it tastes really, I remember it tastes really good, and I could feel it going down. It's nourishing. It's a nourishing kinda, and it made me a little bit lightheaded that I remember, and it's tastes really good. And they have them, and I can see it in my mind's eye as I'm, talking about it, and they have them in some kind of a something that's making them, and then there's a tube that goes into a glass, a tube that, I guess, and it's a long stemmed glass like that, and the tube makes the drink, and you put it up to the to the dispenser kind of thing, and it fills up the glass. It's like,
I love that.
yeah, and you don't have to push anything. It's just it recognizes that you want something, and that so you put it up there, and then it fills it up, and you take it away.
Yeah. It's funny as you're talking about this, my mouth is kind of watering because I drink kombucha,
Mm.
and there's a
Mhm.
kombucha that's made with algae that's blue.
Mm.
And as you're talking about that, I'm like, ooh, do I have any more of my blue kombucha left?
Kombucha? My kombucha.
Kombucha. Kombucha.
Kombucha.
Good stuff. Jillian, I'm so glad you think this is fun. We're so
Yes.
happy for you to be here. We're going to get you on here too, Jillian.
Mhm.
Jillian is
Totally.
part of the CE5 TV um, programming that is starting up too. They're just getting everything put together.
Oh, I didn't
So,
know there was
Jillian,
one. Oh, nice. So I'm
yeah,
assuming you follow the Stephen Greer CE5
hmm
protocols?
yeah,
All
she
that?
does.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
we definitely will get her on when that gets going, and also Mario LeBlanc, who's her cohort.
Mario LeBlanc. Don't recognize the name, but
Yeah, I
yeah,
didn't
totally.
either. But we
Yay.
welcome all of our new friends. So
Yes, and
fun.
if you haven't had a CE5 or been to a CE5, highly recommend it. It's lots of fun. My sister hosts them, her and I, at her place in Snohomish, and we always have really good results. Yeah, it's fun.
I've never done an actual CE5, but quote unquote, but I have been out in oh my god, my brain just stopped working. Sedona. I almost said Sonoma. Probably could do it in Sonoma too with enough wine. But out in Sedona, out in
In the
Nevada, up
vineyards.
in
Mhm.
Tahoe, in Idaho,
Nice.
surprisingly,
Mhm.
and being outside, hanging out, and thinking about the ETs, thinking about that stuff. My cousins used to be all like into it, and having them up here, and which is so cool. And you can feel it, right? You can
Mhm.
feel when your consciousness connects. And
Yeah.
I was up in uh, Oregon, up in your neck of the woods there, Sharon. Went up
Mhm.
there and worked with some people that had been connecting with the ETs, and we had an experience where they actually showed up at the house my first night there.
Mm.
And they were there, so we had made contact, but I wasn't even ready. I was like exhausted from the flight and like just wanted some sleep. Woke up in the middle of the night, and the room is going crack, 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 crack. I was like,
Mm.
"What is going on?" I can see the snow just. I'm like, "Oh wow, we're having a blizzard," and I just kind of felt a little bit like I passed out, right? Kind of like the energy was too much, tired, and I
Yeah.
just kind of conked and got up
Yeah.
in the morning, and there were footprints
Oh, I
around
believe it.
on the roof.
Wow.
Yeah, so we made contact very early on, and
Yeah.
then went up to one of the volcanoes, Mount Hood. Is that up there in your area?
Mhm.
I don't think that
Yes,
doesn't sound
Mount Hood.
right. Is it Mount Hood?
Yeah, there's Mount
And
Hood.
yeah, I
It's the
think
big ski resort here.
yeah, it was. It was the ski
Okay.
resort. And made some contact with some ships that were around the volcano and up in the air. And you can tell.
Oh,
You
I've
can
seen
tell.
lots of ships around Mount Hood. The first um, C5 that I did with a couple of friends, we went up to Mount Hood and called them in, and it was when I first started using a laser to point them out in the sky. And there's a ship flying, and it's the first ship we saw actually, and it's flying across the top, across our vision, and it's at Mount Hood. And I point my laser at it to show my friends. And at the time, I didn't realize you're not supposed to point your laser at anything. So when I pointed my laser at the ship, it wasn't a plane, obviously, because it shoots beam, a white beam, straight out, and it comes and hits something, and comes straight back and straight out again. So
Ooh.
I don't know what it hit, but it scared the you know what out of me. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to point, I didn't mean to point it at you. So I just circled. But that was really crazy. So why did it go out, come back, and go out? What
Do you think
reflection?
maybe it hit something that was invisible there? Maybe a big ship?
Yes, yes. That's I don't know, but yeah, that was my thought, was it hit something and hit came back and then hit something again, because it went choo, 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 and then, you know, was
It
gone.
was knocking on mothership's door going, they're shining the lasers. Can we zap them? And mothership said, no, we have to love them. They know not
They're
what they
newbies.
do.
They're newbies, yes,
They're
they're
kind
newbies.
of
Give it
dumb.
especially that one. No.
Those silly humans. They
They
just
know
don't
not what they
understand
do.
that we can vaporize them with a thought.
Yeah,
And you heard the whole spaceship go, damn.
I know, right?
We
They're
wanted to
like,
get us one
"Okay."
of them humans. They love us.
Yeah,
They love
children
us. They do.
children. They just see us as children, I'm sure, from that in that perspective. Yeah.
And Jillian is going, it's best to point the laser a little bit from the craft.
I learned I learned that, yeah, that was years ago, and, not I don't know, about 6, 7 years ago when I first used my laser first time I ever used my laser, and yeah. Yeah. They told me they they knew what to do to let me know, don't be
Yeah.
pointing it straight at us."
You were lucky they didn't go bing, 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 bing.
Well, that was my first thought, was they're lasering back.
They're building up the
They're
beam.
gonna laser us back. Mhm. 'Cause it
Well, see,
did
you learn. You're not one of the dumb humans.
no, I learned.
You're
With
like, ooh,
that
ooh.
with that experience, it only took one time. Now other experiences, it might take for not with that, no. Other
But we're
lessons in
learning.
life.
And I'm sure that they appreciate those of us that really are trying to learn and that are coming, with pure hearts and pure intentions,
Of course.
not for sensationalism, but to really make contact and really, get this show on the road of disclosure and of connecting with them and beginning to be part of the bigger family. So,
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
but they're
It's
not
it's
ready to give the
exciting.
the keys to the car to the 2-year-old yet either. They're like, "Oh, no, 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 no.
Well, I think
We'll fly our
we've
ships around so you can see us. We are not."
I think we've progressed to 3.
Yeah, maybe.
Jillian's when I used a laser back in October, my hand shook so much, I'm sure I hit the sun. Ooh, the moon and everything in between.
Oh, how
Yeah,
funny. That's so cool.
yeah.
So
It's fun.
exciting. They're there. They're there. Oh my
So, yeah,
gosh,
that's
it's
what
almost
C5 is, right?
5:30.
Oh, I know,
Mhm.
right? C5 is calling them in to for contact. That's what C5 is all about.
So cool.
Contact of the 5th kind, I guess is yeah, what it
Conscious
is.
communication.
Mhm. The
Conscious
5th kind.
communication.
Yeah, it's cool, and they're there, so they want us to know that they're the good guys anyway. I don't think the bad
Yeah,
guys are up there anymore, from what I understand, and, you can
that's
feel
what
a
they
shift.
say.
You can feel a
Yeah,
shift. I feel a shift,
it's not as
definitely.
just like constrictive like it was like in 2021 even.
Yeah. Mhm.
But also, everybody who's here, remember, everybody listening later, Jillian is going to be on my show, Friday Night Hangout, on my YouTube on Friday the 27th. And we're going to talk more about this. And Sharon, tell your folks too. And we're going to get Jillian on.
Sure.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
get Jillian on our
Yeah,
show
we'll have
here.
to hook up, Jillian,
Yeah,
and
and get
have
her on
that
your show. We're going to
conversation.
get her everywhere.
Mhm.
Ali is saying, "Where are you both from, and do you know where I would be from?"
Well, we're doing readings next week, so you're welcome to come to that. But,
Oh, yes.
yeah, yeah. We're from
I'm
a
s
source,
Yeah, I'm from God, Goddess, Creator, the source of all that is, the eternal loving presence.
and so are you.
And so are you. May the source be with you.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can meditate on that, take our classes, and you can meditate on that and take our classes, and,
Oh,
but
Lisa's
yeah.
there. I'm a little late.
No, yeah. We're glad you could make it too, Lisa. But you can meditate on it, and it's just like what Michelle was saying, see
Yeah.
what you resonate with, and, yeah.
Yeah, and when I have people who really seriously want to, and Sharon does this too, is I'll take them through a hypnotherapy,
Mhm.
session and really get them into that connection and get them into that beautiful space. So, Ali, if you're interested in that, either Sharon or I both are trained hypnotherapists, certified hypnotherapists,
Yeah,
that if
and
you really
also
wanna know, you can do that too.
right, right. Also in my class, I'm leading us through a few guided meditations to help
Ooh.
connect with your star family,
And when is your class, Sharon?
February 5th.
February 5th, so it's a
Yeah.
Saturday.
No, oh,
Sunday.
Sunday. Yes, Sunday.
Sunday.
So yeah, we'll be doing that.
Very
We'll be
cool.
playing around with that too, and also channel messages from star beings
Yeah, very
for
cool
those that
stuff.
are in the yeah. So it'll be
All
a
this
fun
stuff is
fun
so
class.
fun.
It is fun, totally. And you have a course, right? Is yours a course?
I mine is it's a class. I call it a course. It's the secrets of ascension, and so what it
Okay,
is tapping
nice,
into the
nice.
multidimensionality, working through and getting comfortable with the 15 dimensions, the 5 densities and 15 dimensions that we're from, that includes all that we're talking about here too.
Mhm.
So it's allowing us. So it's really taking my class on Saturday and then Sharon's class next week on Sunday would be a perfect like progression of information too. How do we do that? It is weird. It's like we don't even plan to do that,
We
Sharon.
don't, and we
And our
always do
classes always seem to like it's weird. It's like
correlate.
you're in my head.
I think you're in mine.
I think we're one with all.
I think we're on the same ship sometimes, and we don't
We are
maybe
too.
realize it. We're blue.
I'm just in the other room.
You're in the other room. You're on the other side of the ship. It's a big, giant mothership, and so sometimes we don't come across each other that often.
For days.
Yeah, I know, right?
Jillian is saying going to bed. This has honestly been the most fun I've had in a while. Oh, so good.
Aw. Well,
So
thank you
good,
for being here,
Jillian.
Jillian. Yeah.
Yeah, honey. And we'll see you next Friday. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. So, very good. We are getting on to an hour and a half of
Yeah.
show. Sharon, do we want to pull a card for everybody, just for the group, just for something funsies to do?
Sure. Yeah, I didn't, I
Sure.
forgot to grab my cards, but I can do something from Yeshua
Yeah, there you
here.
go.
Yeshua, when you're ready.
He's a
Go ahead.
star seed too.
Mhm.
Matter of fact, I have put a special, I say this all the time. People are probably like, shut up, Michelle. But I put a special request in when Jesus comes back that he comes back in a spaceship
Me too.
because I think that'd be freaking awesome.
Yeah. I want a t-shirt. I wanna make a t-shirt. Jesus is an ET.
Jesus is an ET.
I've
He
been saying
told me
that for 20
so
years.
himself.
He told me so himself.
That could be a whole movement just itself.
I know, Jesus is an ET. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So if there's any graphic artists out there that would like to work on that for me, let me know.
We need merch, man. We need merch.
Right. Okay, you go first.
Okay, so I actually ended up pulling these cards from the Lyran Oracle deck. Oh, you can't see them.
There he is.
The
I
Lyran
love the.
Oracle deck. So this is the feline, Starseed feline race, part of the cedar races. Um, and the card that we have is Healer Found, Regeneration, Health, Empowerment, and Vitality. And I want to say this card,
Wow.
I know it's kind of far out here, but this is the way it's going to show. When I pulled this card actually jumped out of the deck, guys. It wanted to be known. I feel like what we're talking about here today, what this is doing to activate your memories, your DNA, activate you and each other all together, us coming together here. I mean, I think we had 19 people at one time, right?
Nice. Hmm.
All of us coming together, creating this community and group consciousness, it creates that healing. Because a lot of what has happened is a lot of, as star seeds and indigos and interdimensional beings that are here, that even the avatars, we've had woundings. We've had woundings. There's been a lot of war. There's been a lot of intergalactic war and stuff throughout time and space. And I feel like that we're healing now. I feel like this revelations, this apocalypse, this whole thing we're going through, this this dismantling, this crumbling of this matrix that's kind of dark, really dark. And allowing that is that healing. And this is how we're going to do it. Coming together, chatting about it, sharing our experiences, you guys here chatting with us, and just having the space where we can connect is this healing. And that's why I really feel like that the Lyrans are very much in approval of this.
Hmm.
And also I'm getting receive the healing from your own like starseed lineage that's in your DNA. And I'm being shown almost like imagine your DNA in the cells of your body, and imagine that DNA like almost like turning effervescent, like you were talking about Venus, and just expanding out into your entire body and just waking up what needs to be woken up, healing what needs to be healed, and just filling you with beautiful, beautiful, sparkling light. Um, and I'm hearing that is what your lion brothers and sisters wish for you, is the message that they're bringing through.
Nice.
Ooh, that was good.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, this is a message from Yeshua, and I have Rachel's book here, Love Notes from Jesus.
Nice. Beautiful
Yeah.
book, by the way.
Hmm. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. The Isle of Grace. Would you remember the blades of soft grass beneath your feet, the warm sun on your face? Would you remember the divine intricacies of your body, of the way you move through the Isle of Grace you call Earth? Would you remember the rocks and the bees, and the whales that play in her oceans? Come to nature. There you will come to know me. I'm just a little bit closer when you sit within the grove of trees.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. So with that, I mean, honoring this is a beautiful, beautiful planet. And I know that, and when I hear people say I don't want to be here, I don't. It doesn't have
Yeah,
anything. Well, I know it doesn't have anything to do with the planet.
yeah,
It has to do with the density and
yeah,
yeah, the density. Because this planet used to be in a high frequency
absolutely.
until we had the fall, Atlantis. So yeah, so that's our reminder that we chose to come here on this beautiful, beautiful planet, no matter what star seed we are. Yeah, and this is our home now.
Yeah. And Mother Earth is ascending too.
Yes.
We're all going with we're here and part of the process of helping Mother Earth to raise her frequency, which is part of the Schumann resonance stuff and the solar flares too, to bring her back into her. We're going to start with the fifth dimensional
Mhm.
presence, but Mother Earth is conscious. She's alive.
Mhm.
She is a planet of life.
Yes.
and we're all doing this together.
Yeah. Are there any messages? So, Shelley, we're doing readings next week, so you can ask us that question next Thursday. Yeah,
Next Thursday,
this
yeah.
is discussion. The other weeks are discussion. We gift readings on the fourth Thursday of the month.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the
But
rest
thank
of
you
the
for
time
being
we
here.
talk and share. Yeah, thank you so much, Shelley. This
Mhm.
is really, really fun. And
Yeah.
thank you everybody for being here. Those of you that are watching now and those that'll be watching later, make sure that you subscribe to all three of the channels, Sharon channel, my channel, New Earth Rising, to make sure you get in on everything because Sharon has a whole empire and I have a whole empire and New Earth Rising is a whole empire. And this empire does not strike back. We hug you and we love you and we bring you in and we sparkle you with sprinkles. No, we sprinkle you with sparkles.
I like sparkling with sprinkles.
Let's sparkle you with sprinkles. Wonderful. Oh, Debbie Davis. So glad that you're here, honey. Thank you for being here.
Yes, good to see you again, Debbie. You moved to
Hmm.
Washington. Oh, well, we'll have to get together when I go
Nice.
see my sister.
Yeah, beautiful. Washington is gorgeous. My niece lives up there. She loves it.
Nice, nice.
All right, everybody.
Okay.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. And, don't be afraid to make some comments down too. If you're watching later, make some comments. Let us know what you think about the show. Let us know where you think you're from. And Sharon and I will check back and see what's going on with you. So we love you guys.
Let's keep it. Yeah. Mwah.
We
Bye,
love you
everyone.
so
Thank
much. We
you.
hate
We
to
love
say goodbye.
you.
Don't make it end.
I know, right?
Bye bye, guys. Stay sparkly. We'll see you next week. We'll do readings next week.
Yes.
Bye
Bye.
bye.